know this. I will forever feel comfortable dragging anybody for any reason. It matters to me not who in the fuck your grandparents were. Know that. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on this video. This is yet another episode of backpedaling and pussy popping. Trust me, at its best. And I say at its best because it actually involves, wouldn't you guess, the family. The family strikes again. Couple things I want to say here. It's funny because I'm usually questioned a lot. People who have been with me a short period of time, who have not seen a lot of my videos, especially a lot of the ones from early on when I first started this channel, they have questions about, well, why? How is it that you could just drag your family members, or why would you feel comfortable talking about your family members? Well, first of all, I feel comfortable talking about whatever it is that I want to talk about. And that's actually part of most people's draw to me, is the fact that I am transparent and there's really nothing that I hold so dear or that I'm so uncomfortable with that I won't discuss. My life is an open book. If I can't live with it, I don't deal in it. So that's just how it is. And I don't hold my family so dear that if they do things, I'll cover for them. I will not cover for them. If they step out of line, I will get right on here, click the button, and drag the fuck out of them. Because me and my video life, this is a lot of my therapy. This is a lot. It's very therapeutic for me to get it on, get it off, and let it go. So you get to actually get it for free and watch and say, oh, okay. And the thing is, I do that because I know I'm not the only one that actually goes through some of the things that I actually go through, and maybe something that I've gone through will help somebody else. So that's another thing. So it's therapeutic for me to get rid of it so it doesn't raise my blood pressure too much, and somebody else will get some use out of what I've said 9 times out of 10. So, okay, so we've been through all that. So that'll cover some of your questions, and it'll be down in the comments. I know after the video. How could you? Because I can. Okay, so I won't even answer those questions when you put them down, or just know I'll let you know because I fucking can. That's why. Okay. So let's go into this. It's amazing how a group of people decide to live by a certain rule and nobody else approved it, nobody else is aware of it. It just kind of goes on. As you know, I don't really fool with my family very much. I have a very huge family. And I don't really fool with them. I don't. I've gotten to, I'm 45 years old now. I don't even feel the need. I don't have the energy to. Child, love them dearly, but usually I don't deal with like family parties, family gatherings. Child, fuck that shit. I don't be bothered. I really do my own thing. See this space here? I'm happy with this space. I create this space to be as close to what it is that I want it to be so I can be comfortable here, and I spend most of my time in this space, okay? That's what's good for me at this point. I've been around and around and around. Look, there's a book about all of that, about my early times. You all know, Boys Like Me. It's on Amazon.com. Okay, so that's the early stuff. This later stuff in life, I don't have the energy to waste on that bullshit. I've done enough, okay? I've done enough of trying to fit in with the family. I've done enough of trying to please the family. I've done enough of ignoring the family. So I just don't really go around. So here we go. When I step out into that gray area yesterday, I go, there's a family member who's having a birthday. And I end up going, I go to the party. And I literally pull, because it's crazy shit. I pull up to the party, I park my car. As I'm getting out of the car, one of my cousins is like, oh, Jim. Yeah. He's literally outside. Now, let me tell you, in Pittsburgh, it was actually snowing yesterday, okay? It was snowing. It was something strange. He's sitting outside in the dark by himself. So I'm not even going to give this, because usually I just blurt their name out. I ain't even got to go and say which cousin this is. People who know me and know him, they'll know which cousin it is because he's just a fucking idiot. But anyway, so he asks me, he says, I'll pay you $20 to take me home. And he basically lives kind of across town. So I'm like, huh? I'll pay you $20 to take me and my wife home. So I'm looking at him and I'm saying, okay, to know you and love you is to really know that at this point, if you're sitting outside in the snow, well, it's not snowing now, but it had snowed. You're sitting outside in all this cold by yourself, drinking a beer, because he's an instant asshole and alcohol. You've probably done something in the inside that somebody ain't happy with. So I says, you know what? Act of kindness, first mistake. And it is. This was literally my first mistake, because within my family, it has become a lot of times a given that an act of kindness from James generally is met with utter bullshit. And trust me, it never goes without fail. So he says, okay, well, let me go grab my wife. So I get back in the car, turn the car back on. He goes, he gets his wife, she comes out. He sits in the back seat, she sits in the front seat. We pull off. I'm taking them home. Before his wife gets back in, he gets in first and he says, okay, here's this 20. And I'm like, keep your money. Keep your money. I'm not a jitney driver. I'm not a Uber. I'm not any of these things. Again, an act of kindness from one family member to the next, and he's not just a cousin. I'm speaking stone cold family member. Okay, stone cold family member. We are very close cousins. Okay, everybody I'm actually speaking about in this portion of this situation, first and second cousins. You understand me? Literally siblings, children's, okay? Children's, Lord, siblings, children. Okay, so we go on off. The wife gets in the car. We start off. We get, literally, we haven't even gotten across, because you know Pittsburgh is made up of a bunch of bridges, okay? So I got to get across the bridge to get onto the other side of the town, okay? I'm on the north. They live on the west side of town. Lord knows I get not all the way across the bridge, and the bullshit starts. I don't even know where the fuck this conversation came from, but it was like I've been holding this, because I don't see them often. Like I've been holding this and I just wanted to say this to you, and I just, it was one of them weird things. And he's asked me different questions, and then he said something about my youngest child. And I said, yeah, my son, something or other. I don't even remember, because it just took me so far off. I don't even remember what the whole question was. But I said, yeah, my son, whatever. And it was met with, you don't have a son. Huh? And it was and the wife is sitting there and I'm sitting there and I'm saying, what are you talking about? So you continue on. You don't have a son. I said, you're right. I don't have a son. I have two sons. So what is the point that you're making? You don't have any sons. And I said, okay, here we go with the bullshit. So go on and explain yourself. What is it that you're trying to say to me? You don't have any sons. You didn't make them, so you don't have any sons. Little background for you all who don't know me. I have two boy children. You understand me? Two sons. I have two adopted sons. One is 10 and one is 13. Okay? I've had the 13-year-old since I adopted when he was 18 months. The baby I've had since he was 12 hours old. Okay? I took him right out of the hospital in my arms. Okay? So where all of this is coming from, I have no idea. I ain't took no kids and just picked them up and just took them home and said they was mine. No, I have legal adoptions. Okay? So I'm saying, what the fuck are we getting ready to go through? And that's where it goes. And when I say the way he was talking was like, you're going to force feed whatever the shit is you're talking about down my throat. You didn't make them, so they're not your sons. I said, well, explain to me, asshole. What are they to me? What am I to them? These two little boys that I've been raising for all these years, you tell me, what am I to them? Now you're sitting back there quiet. They're not yours. You didn't make them. So all of a sudden now you have to pump the female to be a parent to a child. What are we talking about and how did we even get here? How did we get here? I said, do I really need to go through this? I really need to go through this? I said, so this is the bullshit again. See, because there's always this unsaid rule when it comes to James and this family. I live by a different set of rules than everybody else. Okay? And it ain't nothing but that old gay bullshit. Okay? You live by a different set of rules than everybody. Okay? You can, whatever you do is fine, but it can't be the same thing I did because I have to denounce you from that to make myself seem normal and make you seem abnormal. This is the life that I have lived through with this family. This is why I don't fuck with them. I don't have time for it. And it's so funny because you say, why do I even waste energy? And you waste the energy because they are your family. Your family doesn't really go away. You go away from them, but they're still your family. And the only thing that changes, I don't feel the need to try to win them over. I don't try to fit in with them anymore. And I'm telling you, it's getting to the place where I choose to deal less and less with them. And I'm really about that far from, you all don't even have to do this with me. I'll actually disown myself from you. You know, it would be better for me if you all would just go away. Because one, none of you are assets. None of you are assets. There's one asset in the family, and that's my mother. She's the one I rode in on. That's it. That's it. And it got proven to me again in 2015. When I was flat on my back, going through my cancer battle, only one I looked around and seen is that one that looks exactly like me, and that was my mother. So did anybody else really count? You know what I mean? Of course, oh, yeah, we're so sorry. A lot of people that wanted to know what was going on. But the one that came and did something for me to try to make sure I had the things I needed was my mother. My mother. That's it. Huge family. Huge family. Ain't nobody walked through this door with a wet chicken breast. You understand me? Not one. But my mother. My mother showed up the first day that I went into chemotherapy, and she never left for over 5.5 months. You understand? That's it. So all about, and I don't knock myself out to try to please her. It is what it is. But I'm getting to the point where with the family, I just don't have the energy. I don't. It's like, go away. Just go away. And this was a perfect example. Now I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the wife, and she is She's always been a person. She's a very nice girl. And she just ended up landing with this asshole cousin of mine. And that's not my problem. That's her problem because that's what she chose. So now we're going to go there. Since you want to go there, let's go there. Let's talk about this. Since you've thrown this shit out there. So since this is what it is for me, since I did, and naturally I can't have actually made these children because these children belong to my other first cousin. Okay? Their mother is my first cousin. So, of course, you know, I didn't make them because we don't do the incest thing. Okay? I adopted them because they needed adopted. And none of you so-called heteros ran and got them. I ended up going to go get them. Okay? So, I just break it down. So you're telling me if you don't make them, then you can't claim parenthood. Now, I have actually ran into this a little bit when talking to my youngest child. And I kept saying, I'm wondering where is he getting this stuff from? Because he's been saying things along that line, along that line of how I'm not his real father, and why can't he just call me by my first name? And my thing is you can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me too late for dinner. But I wonder where all of this is coming from. And you can always tell when they've come in contact with some family member, and all you got to do is just sit back and the story will tell itself. The story will tell itself when they've seen one of my family members. And I kept saying, I know there's some adults that are having these conversations probably where my children are in the vicinity. Sure enough, it just exposed itself. And I could be wrong, but I'm sure I'm not. Okay? So, here's this conversation. And I said, so you're telling me your wife, y'all have a child together. But before that, she had one before that, which is your stepson. So you're not his dad, right? So when he be calling you dad, he shouldn't be doing that, right? And then that grandchild, that one, that the oldest son that don't belong to you, that had, and you so in love with that grandchild, that ain't really your grandchild, right? Now there's crickets in the car. Crickets. Complete crickets. And I'm laughing at the wife because you could see her getting a little nervous because I've been known to be a little extreme. Okay? So she know it ain't too far for me to pull the car over, put them out, and tell them, y'all find y'all way from here. That I'm that bitch. But I'm like, I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to do that to her. And I have to tell you, quite honestly, if it would have just been me and my cousin, I'd have put him out on the bridge. I'd have put him right out of my car on the bridge and beat his motherfucking ass if needed. I would have done that. And I ain't even going to lie. I'd have did that to him. But anyway, so I says, okay, this is just silly. So what is that whole different set of rules? You have stepchildren. You're telling me that since you didn't make them kids with her, those kids ain't shit to you? Then you need to go on in the house and explain that shit to her, don't you? But no, that's because I live a different set of rules than they do. We'll go even better with it. My two kids, his mother adopted their sister. She's almost 18 years old. She'll be 18 years old this year. She adopted her when she was about a year old. You've been referring to her to your sister as your sister all this time. So now she's not your sister? She not your sister? Oh, okay. So all of these, and then my child, his mother has girls that were just from the neighborhood that she picked up along the way, and they call her mom, she calls them, and they call them sister. None of them are your sisters. Or is it, those rules only work for me because for whatever reason today you decided you wanted to offend me. After asking me to do something for you, after me extending my hand to do something for your walking ass, not just you and your fucking walking ass wife, but you got it on your heart to offend me. Really? Really? This is what I'm telling you. This is why you hear me say, no, I don't be forgiving people for shit. I ain't got time for it. You forgive people and they just come back and they do more shit to you. It's just the way it is. And then he goes on, and I said, I'm still waiting on you to tell me, when I'm pulling up in front of the house, I'm waiting on you to tell me what it is that I am to these children. Both of their birth certificates don't have anybody's name on it but mine. Their mother's name is not even on their birth certificate, just mine. If they go to a doctor or they go to anything that they can't go without my signature. So who the fuck am I? If I'm not their parent, who in the fuck am I, stupid ass? Ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. And this is the thing. You're getting too comfortable living with shit in your mouth. And at this point, that hole in your face is starting to stink. It's starting to stink. And I can see myself. I'm literally going to probably, there's going to come a point where I'm just not going to talk to these people anymore. I'm really not. I'm just going to just act just like they don't exist. I mean, it really just seems like it's probably for the best because you're not learning anything. And like I said, you're getting too comfortable living with shit in your mouth. And he's like, oh, well, I didn't really know that. And I didn't really know like all about, you didn't know what? You didn't know what? You're fucking backpedaling and you're pussy popping. Backpedaling and pussy popping, and in the worst way. Everybody in this motherfucking family knows that I adopted those children. You all know. Trust me, you all know. It's nothing but a bunch of bullshit. A bunch of bullshit. A bunch. And I just don't get it. I mean, I don't understand. And it's very tiresome to actually always go through that thing of when people say, well, every family actually has that. And this goes on in every family. Not true. There are people naturally who are assholes in every family. Every family has some people that are less than desirable, yes. But this whole second set of rules and how deep it goes, this is not anything normal. And I'm at the point I'm tired of trying to accept that this is normal and that other people, this happens all the time, and it doesn't. And one of the main things is how his wife felt the need to tell me that she loved me 3 different times just in getting out of the car. Poor thing. It's a shame to watch this. She's always trying to clean up for his mess. You know, you're always trying to clean up for his mess or for other things that you've witnessed with the family. I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay. Okay. But that is just a testament of the fact that I know that your family kind of treats you like shit. You know what I mean? She's been around for a very long time. She's not the only one who actually does that. There's a lot of people who are friends of the family, married into the family, and it's crazy. I literally have, I can name right off the top of my head 3 or 4 different family members that were mates, that were married into the family, that I actually deal with and don't even fuck with their mates. Or exes. Because there's even people who are actually their exes, they've left the family, and I am still literally friends with them. They don't even fuck with their mates all like that. A mess. A mess. Child, welcome to my world, honey. It's just as cute and simple all at the same time. And it's so crazy because a lot of the mistreatment through my time with the family and the weird treatment, these things should have been addressed a long time ago, but they weren't addressed by older people in the family because they were stupid as hell and they just let the shit go on and just paid it, or either were dealing in it as well, because I had a lot of that too. You know, when you had 14 and 15-year-olds fucking with a 7 or 8-year-old child and motherfuckers in their 30s ignoring it or indulging and thinking it was funny. And this shit is carried on, and look at us now. Look at us. It has created just fucked up relationships with the now adults. Now adults. And then you think that our children are supposed to be cool with each other. No, that's not going to be that way. That shit is going to trickle down because no child appreciates anybody fucking with their parent. Fuck what you heard. Fuck what you heard and what you believe. No child wants to hear you talk bad about their parent. No child. They'll suck up the information, but no, they don't appreciate you talking shit on their parent. They don't. And as they get older, it gets uglier. Trust me when I tell you. Trust me when I tell you. It's just crazy. I mean, you would be surprised at the second set of rules that goes through with my family. I'm the only one that's gay. No, I'm really not the only one that's gay. Not at all. Okay? Not even the only one that's really out. But, you know, it is what it is. They do whatever it is they want to do, honey. Nobody has to live by those rules that they set. I'm the only faggot, honey. But I'm not the only one that messes with men. And on that, I'm going to leave this right there. And I'm going to leave that right there. Yes, that was a read. And I'm leaving it alone, honey. Anyway, backpedaling and pussy popping. Like I said, the family strikes again. It ain't going to be very long. And I'm going to declare myself familyless. I can just see it coming. Anyway, all right. I know y'all have a lot to say. Leave it in the comments. I'll probably respond depending on what it is, you know. As long as you ain't telling me you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. And then, and you know what? You may think I'm wrong, and that's cool. I have no problem with that. But I don't want to hear you're wrong for expressing your feelings and the fact that it's actually your family and you did it on a public forum. That's the one I don't want to hear. You just keep that one to yourself. I'll say what I want to say, how I want to say it, because once you step into my lane, it is what it is. And be glad that it made it onto this and not in another book. Or will it?